everybody.
Hi, friends. Well, from beautiful Salt Lake City, Utah.
It's Thank God I'm Atheist,
where we, a couple of atheists, just try not to step on our own faces as we walk through this crazy world that we call the United States of America.
The world called America. Yeah, all right. Well, I'm
None
Frank
of it
Feldman.
made any sense, but I don't have to make sense. I'm Dan Beecher.
And coming up on the show today, Dan, we're going to be talking about Iran and the end of the world.
Yes, and yes. It's happening. I prep yourselves.
It's not good, guys.
Make sure you're wearing clean underwear, and yeah, we'll get to it.
No, just change after you hear the story.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Why waste another pair? All right.
Yeah.
Well, but first, Dan, there are things that we need to talk about. Some news that happened this week.
Yeah.
Including some bad news about Good Friday. Dan.
Oh no.
Well, it might be good news if you like Good Friday.
Or good news Friday. About Bad Friday. Who knows?
Good Friday being that Christian day. That's a somber day. It has to do with Easter, right?
Yeah. It's the day that Jesus was killed, theoretically.
But it's the Good Friday.
I don't know why it's good.
How does that work?
I don't know.
Anyway, well, so our legislature, Dan. Boy, they're great. They're good at
Do you mean our nation's legislature or Utah legislature?
Our nation's legislature is the Congress. No, yeah. I'm talking about our legislature, the Utah State Legislature.
Okay.
Which has passed a new law.
Oh, good.
Which will make Good Friday a legal holiday in the state of Utah, because we didn't have enough of these religious holidays that are also legal holidays. In an act of great generosity toward the public employees of the state of Utah, they're giving them a half day off.
So it's half of a holiday.
Half of a holiday. And the sponsor of the bill, Senator Kevin Stratton, he tried to do a full day off, but they just didn't get any traction.
Oh my gosh.
And so
but half day,
he reduced it to half day, and all of a sudden the legislature was like, oh, sure.
They're like, okay, fine, we'll do it.
He must really be serious about this, they said.
You're not going to stop bugging us until we do this, are you?
Anyway, he had this to say. Also, I'll add, he's a Republican.
Doy.
This is what he said. God was really sterilized from our public dialogue in many ways. So it's been a blessing to open up in a new way the opportunity to more comfortably, appropriately, and certainly with sensitivity, welcome God back into the public sector.
Oh my God. With sensitivity. I am grateful for the sensitivity that he has very clearly displayed.
Well, Americans United for Separation of Church and State isn't keen on this new law.
Oh, how odd. Oh, how strange.
Because even though we have religious holidays that are like actual, holidays, state holidays, legal holidays. There we go. The reason must be primarily secular for making a religious holiday a legal holiday. And this is this is the distinction, right?
Yeah.
If the government offices won't be able to function because so many employees typically take the day off, then that is actually just a functional secular reason.
A valid
reason to say, okay, well then let's just make this an official holiday. We'll just be closed. So
enjoy Christmas, everybody, whatever.
Just there you go. You got it. There's so many of you. You just get it. Fine.
Yeah.
Right. But if Good Friday hasn't been causing this problem for the government.
No one's en masse taking Good Friday off.
It's essentially just the legislature now encouraging religious observance.
Yeah.
Right. And therein lies the problem. That is the problem with this law. There's a problem with making other holidays actual legal holidays.
Here's
and
what's
it sucks if your really special day is a day that nobody else really cares about.
Right.
But that's just how it works.
Right.
You have your government employee, right?
Yeah.
You can take a vacation day.
You can
take the day off. Right?
Take the day off. And,
unfortunately, that is how it works. So I would like Christmas to not be but like, so you have a bunch of people taking a vacation day, and then all of a sudden the government's like, well, we can't even function.
Well, yeah.
So like you can see the rationale. I had never thought of it that way until I saw this person at Americans United for Separation of Church and State, who's the staff, this Ian Smith, who's staff counsel for them. This is his take on it. And it's like, well, that makes sense to
totally.
Me. So nonetheless, sorry Hindus, sorry Jews, right? Like, your special days probably aren't going to become all of our special days. But nonetheless, fucking Good Friday, Dan. These
what's amazing to me about that is that, I mean, you and I both grew up Mormon. The Utah State Legislature is a Mormon body. I mean, it is like probably 90% Mormon.
Even some of the Democrats are Mormon.
Yeah, a bunch of exactly. Do you remember any talk about Good Friday growing up Mormon?
I had no idea what it was. The first time I heard about it,
Good Friday in Mormonism. It's not a thing in Mormonism.
This is literally just to try to make some weird point.
This is just some Charlie Kirk fucking like turning point, or one of these religious think tanks that's churning out, let's bother everybody with our Christianity laws that they're trying in all the reddest states.
Yeah.
And for some reason, even though Mormons don't give a fuck about Good Friday, the Utah legislature glommed onto this one.
I don't know who's behind it or what the motivations are, but Utah, assuming the governor signs it into law, of course he will.
Of course.
Utah will become the 13th state to recognize Good Friday as a legal holiday. And I'll rattle them off. Connecticut, Delaware, Florida, Hawaii, Indiana, Kentucky, Louisiana, New Jersey, North Carolina, North Dakota, Tennessee, and Texas. So, I mean, you are right. By and large, mostly red states, but there's some blue ones in there.
There's some surprises in there, but they're mostly Catholic states, I think.
You're probably right about that.
And so like that makes more sense than a Mormon state. That doesn't make any sense. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to, since we're talking about Utah legislative, the Utah legislative session, which just ended,
right?
Another bill that got passed and has flown almost entirely under the radar so far. Literally, if we didn't have a delay while we get our things edited and stuff, if this came out the day we're recording it, I would be breaking the story. And
Dan's
I never get to break a story.
He's very proud of this, everyone.
So anyway.
And so it's very sad. This is actually a sad
day because it will probably it will have broken by the time this gets out.
No.
Drat and dread. And also, obviously, the reporting that whoever breaks it before this goes out, they'll do a much better job. But here's what I found. This is HB 312, House Bill 312 here in Utah, which is an education bill, and it has a whole bunch of stuff in it. Most of it's pretty bland and boring, but it does change some of the language in how they educate. In how the school board is meant to educate people. And some of the language buried deep in it has to do with is about the humanities. And here's what we got. It's literally, they're running David Barton's fake historian David Barton's playbook here.
All right.
Literally, it requires students to study the religious references in the founding documents in their American history class.
Oh, shoot.
Which is hilarious because literally the writers of the founding documents, like our Declaration of Independence, went out of their way not to say Christian God. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's a reference to nature's God. There's a reference to creator. There's a reference to divine providence. Those are literally like they are working hard not to say God, not to use Christian iconography, all that stuff. But now all of the teachers who are teaching American history they can't just glide over that part while they're teaching the Declaration of Independence. They have to touch on those things. They have to talk about the religious and philosophical influences on natural rights and limited government. These are little minor things, but they're squeezing it in there. They're just definitely trying to squeeze it in there. They're literally just getting their wedges in so that they can go harder next time around.
Well, there you go, Dan.
There you go. I don't know if Americans United or FUFRF will be taking issue. We'll be filing a lawsuit about it. It does seem like it's like just the dials turned down just enough that it might not even be worth fighting, because it's not like talk about how Jesus made America or anything like that. But they're definitely like really trying to squeeze they're trying to force teachers to talk about these things.
Yeah, it'll be interesting if the story gets any kind of follow up to hear about how the teachers actually do this.
Absolutely.
Like what is it in practice? There'll be some classrooms where it's probably a shitty implementation, and others where it's just like, okay.
Well, I know at least one American history teacher, and I know that when he's teaching this, will be like, why did these authors use phrases like nature's God or creator, and have that conversation and be like, they were deists. They didn't want to inject Christianity into this document and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And that would be a great way to talk about it.
Yeah.
But then there
That's
will
not
also
how they're all
be
going to do it.
No. Davis County, Utah teachers are going to be like, Jesus guided their hands as they wrote the words on the page.
Those are literally Jesus's words.
Those are Jesus's words.
Have you ever seen a medium work where they just like they just sort of close their eyes and let their hand be guided?
Oh, like automatic writing?
Yeah, like a little trick. They wrote the Constitution using a Ouija board. This is a little known fact. They just sat there and it was like We.
Oh my God. Can I just say I recently witnessed a Ouija board experiment. Where people were trying to summon a very specific person. And these are all atheists. None of them are believer people, but they thought it would be a fun experiment to try. And I didn't want to say anything, but I'm like, if you want anything interesting to happen, one of you has to be cheating. Somebody has to be pushing the thing.
Yeah.
And
that's
then
how it works.
Claim you're not cheating. And none of them cheated. And so the thing just moved, and it would be like, I is that a J? It's between K and J. I don't know. And it never went to anything useful, and it never spelled out anything. And it was, and they were so like disappointed. And I was like, what did you think was going to happen?
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, it actually, in the rules and instructions, it says, you know, someone has to cheat, right? Isn't that? It's like Secret Hitler or whatever it's called. Everyone puts their heads down.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right, Dan. I'm going to give us a little teaser, a little amuse-bouche, if you will,
sure.
of the story or the topic that we're going to be talking about on later in the show as our last segment, having to do with the whole fucking Iran invasion nonsense.
Right.
Anyway, Dan, you're familiar with CPAC, right? That's the Conservative Political Action Conference.
Oh, I thought
right?
that was the machine that helps you breathe while you're sleeping.
Yeah, indeed. The chairman of American Conservative Union, Matt Schlapp, they're the people who throw the CPAC thing, right?
Okay.
So he's sort of identified in the news as like the CPAC head, right?
Big dog.
Big guy. He was on that really good Piers Morgan Uncensored show.
What a great piece of journalism that show always is.
Anyway, so Piers Morgan, he has him on, as well as like people from the left and so forth and so on, to kind of have a little panel discussion about the whole thing. And the topic of the elementary school in southern Iran that got bombed.
Yeah. The girls' school.
Like 100 young girls died, right?
Yeah.
That story.
Yeah.
That story comes up, right? So this is what one of the reasonable people on the show had to say that set Matt Schlapp off to say something truly horrendous about this incident.
Okay.
So this is journalist Peter Beinart. I don't know who that is. Sorry, Peter Beinart. But he says, we know that if the U.S. and Israel had not attacked a country that poses no serious threat to them, Israel has hundreds of nuclear weapons, America has thousands, that those girls would be alive.
Right.
Right. And so this Schlapp says they'd be alive in a burqa. This is a barbaric society. Right. And like Piers Morgan is like, oh, wait, hold on a second. But Schlapp keeps going and he goes, it's hypocritical to say that these attacks harmed women and children when these women and children, the young girls that you reference, would be living life in a barbaric, unequal society behind a burqa with no ability to make career choices. And so one of the other people on the show is like, so you just killed him? And the conversation, of course, goes off the rails.
It's a mercy killing, Frank.
That is what he's phrasing it as. He's saying that this is it's better for them because they wouldn't. First of all, the details that he's getting wrong. Iran isn't famous for burqas. That's Afghanistan.
No. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Burqas being the tent that women have to wear in that country to exit their house. Right.
Yeah.
That blocks that there's a little slit that they can, or even like mesh that they see
sometimes
out
it's
of.
mesh.
It's like
you there could be a non-person under there and you wouldn't know.
It could be one of Elon Musk's robots or something. And yeah, you wouldn't know. No, under that burqa is a woman in another burqa, right? It's like those little Russian dolls. You take one off and there's just a smaller woman in a burqa, another smaller woman in a burqa. All right. Well, anyway, and also the thing, the going after like no ability to make career choices, which is really choice for Iran. Iranian women are famously well educated,
right?
Actually,
yeah,
right.
Yeah.
And yeah, Iran is a shitty regime, right? Nobody wants to live in Iran, especially now. But pre America bombing it into
Yeah.
the Dark Ages.
The Ayatollah was not great.
Yeah. Like horrible, horrible, which is why the left and even like a lot of European countries are having a hard time with their response to this totally illegal, totally awful invasion of Iran because, well, the Ayatollah sucked. Well, can we also just say, can we acknowledge that whatever is going to come after the Ayatollah isn't going to be great?
Right.
Right. Like, can we let's acknowledge that when we're talking about this, that this is a horrible thing. This is possibly the absolute worst outcome for the Iranian people.
You haven't necessarily fixed the problem. You've just blown it up. And now there's a whole list of other problems, and we don't know what that's going to. We'll get to that
We will. But also just saying, oh, Iranians rise up and overthrow your regime. Yeah, with what? Yeah, they're armed. They have institutions in place, and you're not ready to back them up.
Right.
So what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly. It's and also it turns out that the Americans had people in mind that they wanted to take over and be the new leaders of Iran, and they killed them too. So not great, you guys. We're not doing fantastic here.
Not great. This is it's so bad. Yeah. It is so mortifyingly just awful.
And
as an American, right? It's just I'm just horrified and mortified.
Yeah. But how rich is it that these guys are saying things like, essentially saying, I'd rather 100 little girls be killed than have them wearing burqas.
Yeah.
Regardless of how wrong he is about the burqa thing, how rich is it for him to say that? And then in this country, his side of the aisle is pushing America closer and closer and closer to that kind of disenfranchisement and marginalization of women, trying to take away rights that they've already won for themselves, or real cute.
It's rough. It's brutal shit. And this is a common trope right now, right?
Yeah.
On the right. This is their way of thinking and seeing it, this atrocity that's being played out as well, but it's better than what they had. No, I don't think so. I don't think having your country bombed left and right is somehow better.
Yeah.
And your children being killed and the indiscriminate way in which it's all seems to be happening.
It's crazy.
It's fucking
I've seen on in the social media sphere, all the right wingers are like, they killed 30,000 of their own citizens, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, hey, I don't know where that number is coming from. But more importantly, the solution to that isn't, it's better if we kill their citizens than if they kill their citizens. Right. That's not how the solution has to go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to take us back here stateside, and I'm going to say a word that I think will be its own trigger warning. And that word is diocese. I feel like the second I say that, everyone knows what's coming. So if you have to, put on your seatbelt, because that's where we're going. This time
you should probably have a trigger warning. I'm about to say a word. It's a Christian, it's a Catholic or organizational level of the church. And if I say it, it might trigger you.
It does feel like there are like these sort of steps that we take, these concentric circles that should qualify just as a trigger warning. If you say Catholic and then you say diocese, and then literally everyone
priest.
Already knows. Yeah, priest, exactly. And then we're there. So here's the deal. Rhode Island, we've seen a lot of Catholic dioceses have to pay a lot of money and be investigated. A few years back, Pennsylvania had a grand jury report come out. This was in 2018. because in that state, they have a law that allowed them to force the Catholic Church to bring out certain documents, and so like they did a full, like the state did a big investigation, and it was huge and it was explosive. I don't know if you remember us talking about that back in 2018, but it was huge. Well, Rhode Island doesn't have those laws. Rhode Island, they couldn't just dive in and do a full-scale investigation. But Attorney General Peter Naronha did an investigation working with the Diocese of Rhode Island, and released a report recently. Now, the Catholic Diocese of Providence cooperated. They kind of cooperated. They turned over like 250,000 pages of 250,000 pages of documents about that they had documented about the problem of child sexual abuse by priests. It led to the sort of it uncovered the fact that, and everyone says these are low numbers, these are incomplete numbers, but it was enough that it had around 75 priests who abused more than 300 children since 1950. Now we know that is a very low number. In part just because we know what these numbers look like in the other dioceses, and it's just obviously it's much higher than this. But that's what they could uncover just from their own internal documents. They also were able to work out that the way that the church dealt with this problem, the way that they managed it from the 50s on up through like the 90s, what they would do is send them to it feels like a resort. They sent them to a spiritual retreat style facility. And you tell me what that means, because I have no idea, but it sounds like they just said, go chill out in the woods with other pedophile priests for a while, and get it out of your system somehow.
No, don't get it out of your system.
Well, I mean, yeah. And then they sent, and then they started sending them to basically like rehab center type places, with therapy and stuff. But
better, but
still
not what they should be doing.
Not prison. Yeah. Not reporting them to authorities so that something is done, and so that they are never put in a position where they can hurt a child again. So this has led to, I think, 4 priests being arrested or being tried, and stuff. And obvious, and the church, for their part, are being such shits about this. They're trying to spin it off like, this is all ancient history. Yes, we're complying fully. They are not complying fully. They supplied these documents. They have not made any of their priests available for interview with the office. They're not complying. But they're claiming that like, no, this was back in the day. We've got it all sorted out now. Everything's hunky dory. Everybody, all of our current priests, this is a paraphrase, but they literally were like, all of our current priests are good, holy men who would never do anything like this ever, ever, ever. I promise. Scouts honor. It's just such a bullshit take on it. No real accountability whatsoever. No, this was awful and we want it to stop too. Like
and probably no, and this is how we're going to prevent it.
No,
right? Like not a real way of preventing it. Like, oh, well, we ask everybody if they like the little kids. But no, actual systems in place where there's priests are supervised when they're little kids.
Right.
Something.
Yeah.
They're never left alone with children.
And
which would also just be a smart thing. Also, if there were real consequences for these predators, right?
Yeah.
Then the good guys would be like, I never want to be alone in a room with the kid. Out of just I want to always to be above board. And it's a shitty feeling because like there's that sense that you do have is like a good guy of like, oh, I have to be careful to not look like, right. I'm a creep, right? And
that sucks.
And we do live in a world where I think a lot of men feel like they can't really smile or say hi or whatnot to a little kid because people are like, oh, are you a weirdo?
Yeah. Guess who brought that on themselves as an organization? You know what I mean? Like you're affiliated with an organization that put you in that position.
Yeah.
I think you're right to have some sympathy there. I also think you're right. Like if I were a priest, yes, I'm going to have a nun who's with me at all times if I'm anywhere near a child. Or somebody.
Yeah, maybe not a nun. Because there have been problems there too.
The problem,
really, you can't leave these guys alone with anyone.
I'm
right?
saying
there should always be a group of people.
I would love to have a priest betraying his vows with a nun as opposed to betraying his vows with a child.
Yeah, as long as I was keeping it still on sort of the predator level.
Oh, but, okay, yeah. Oh, well, sure.
Right, like
sure.
Anyway, no, it does beg the question of how many priests need to be in a room for one child to be safe.
Yeah.
Right. Like, what are the levels of supervision that are needed? Right.
Well, you need a priest who has a nun watching him, and then another nun watching that nun, and then another priest watching the nun, watching the priest.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they all have to be from separate organizations. This guy's
can't
the priest.
Be one. There's like,
and it's got to switch like regularly.
Carmelite. There's a
you can't. You literally can't have everybody, and they can't. Yeah, they can't form a bond with each other. So they've got to. It's got to switch.
Which groups don't like each other, right?
Yeah.
Like which ones are kind of antagonistic?
That's right. And we have to build them up to be antagonistic with each other.
Gross, Dan.
I don't think this is a solvable problem. I think we should just get rid of the church. That's all I can think of.
I know it doesn't solve the problem. Well, it doesn't solve the problem at all. I was going to say something about celibacy, but like you see predator pastors out in the rest of Christendom.
Yeah.
With high regularity.
Yeah.
Right. It's just predictable that people in certain positions seem to just be at higher. There seem to be higher rates of predators in certain fields. Let's don't
give people power and sort of presumed holiness.
Right.
Because that's just too dangerous a combination. It's just it's not, it doesn't work well.
Anyway,
all right.
I feel like we've gone a little nutty on this one.
Really?
We kept going. Well, how many priests
do
you need?
Pedophile priests are bad
in the room, so to ensure that a child won't be molested. All right. Yeah. Dan.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
I've sort of found a beat that I keep going back to for our show, and that's the Afghanistan /Taliban beat. Sort of mine. I'm kind of owning it. I keep seeing these updates about what's going on with the Taliban, and I feel like they're important. It's weird because they're horrible stories.
Yeah.
And I feel somehow like, of course, we always feel helpless. Like we're helpless when something bad is happening in another part of the world. There's nothing I can do to change that. But this feels worse than that because it feels like.
Have you tried, Frank? I feel like you have. Like
I haven't. You're right.
This whole thing is happening in Iran, and Frank has done nothing. Literally nothing.
So the latest thing to come out of Afghanistan is some news about something that passed, a decree that passed like a month ago, but it took a minute for the news to kind of get out of Afghanistan, where apparently Taliban authorities have officially sort of codified that that men are allowed to beat their wives as long as they don't break bones or leave visible lasting wounds. Psychological and emotional wounds are okay, but if we can see the wounds, if we can, as long as the wounds are on the inside, we're okay with it.
Good Lord.
That's the rule officially. Like, I've actually heard that this was sort of a practice.
Yeah.
We may have even talked about it before on the show, but this is official now. Like, it has been recognized that this is how it works. And so that's great. The Taliban, for their part, say that that this is in line with Sharia law, and that these new rules have religious legitimacy. Let's see. This is from the decree. It says, if a husband beats his wife so severely that it results in a broken bone or an open wound, or a black and blue wound appears on her body, and the wife appeals to a judge, then the husband will be considered an offender. A judge should sentence him to 15 days imprisonment. Now, the article that I'm reading points out that punishment for animal abuse is up to 5 months in prison.
Oh my God. Oh my, it's just, yeah. Friends this is, at home, this is not okay. That's not okay.
This, the word misogyny comes to mind, but
what? How dare you?
This is beyond that.
That's not even that.
This is like, I know that essentially misogyny is hatred of women, right?
Yeah.
But in use, in context, this is hatred of women.
Yeah.
Right. This is like, so the article also points out that a woman's testimony by law is worth half that of a man's.
Yeah.
Right. It has legally, like, by one of these decrees, half of the weight in
which
law.
Means that even if he broke her bone,
yeah,
it's unlikely that she would actually report him, because
we'll put this into the context.
She won't be believed. He'll say she fell down,
right,
and then it's over, and then he'll beat her for suing him,
right. But put this into the context of a country that has prohibited women from being able to leave their home without a male guardian,
right?
And the male guardian has to be a family member, right?
Yeah.
Guess how many women are going to go and go to the authorities and report the person who's her guardian,
right?
Honey,
will you take me to the courthouse? I need to turn you in,
because you deserve your 15 measly days in jail.
Yeah.
So the situation is just boxing women into an ever smaller box and corner of Afghanistan. And you just like it's unimaginable, the complete disdain that such a regime would have to have toward women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are cartoon villains at this point.
Yeah.
It is like, it's shocking in this era that we have this kind of horror.
Yeah. No, I mean, it really is. Like, so much progress has been made in so many corners of the world. And then you have Afghanistan.
Yeah.
Right. And there's nothing to say about it. There's nothing funny to say about it. There's nothing. It's just horrifying. It's just an absolute horror playing out that we have to watch.
Yep.
Right. And that's kind of what I was alluding to when I first brought this up, of like the helplessness. I don't know, like other stories don't feel this helpless. And you think about these people, these women in these, and it's just,
well, I mean,
the worst thing.
It's the part of the world where they've cut off all of the outside influence so effectively that, like, while the rest of the world progresses, even if it's slowly, and even if there are backslides, like, you know, that Martin Luther King Jr. quote, "The arc of justice is long, or the arc of whatever is long, but bends towards justice." Anyway,
right. The arc of history is long.
History, yeah. But they're literally going backwards by a design like that, and on purpose, and no end in sight, and that's scary.
Yeah, it's awful.
Anyway. All right. Well, since we're talking about the world, I'm gonna point us out to, it's one of your favorite things, Frank. It's a Pew survey. You love a good survey.
Yeah. What are the people saying, Dan?
Well, this is fun because it's a 25 country survey, so it's not just
do that. That's huge.
It's huge.
The scope, the scale of this is
And
amazing.
in this case,
countries?
I mean, lots of them. 5 of them.
But like, what kind? What are
everything?
these, like?
So, like, obviously, U.S. and U.K. and stuff like that, but also Turkey, Brazil, Greece, South Africa, Hungary, South Korea, Netherlands, Mexico,
a real sampling of the world here.
South Africa, they're all over the place. They're really trying to sort of get a bunch of different places, and they're asking them questions about morality. And that's interesting. And I'll give you a few tastes of some of the things that they asked. One of the things is views on homosexuality. Where
I love to hear what some people have to say about that.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's literally exactly what you'd expect.
Yeah.
Places like Sweden and Germany, both 95% are on the side of it being morally acceptable.
95. Wow.
Yeah.
Great. Amazing.
Well, 94. And then, Spain's doing pretty well. You get up to, UK is 83% not morally wrong.
Okay.
And then you get to the US is 60% not morally wrong. Feels that feels high. That feels gross. We're all the way there. Hungary is doing better than we are. Greece, Poland, Brazil is doing better than we are on that one. That's not great. Obviously, Nigeria is the worst. Nigeria's at 4% of people think that it's not morally wrong, and 96% think it's morally unacceptable. Indonesia's right after that. Turkey, Kenya, anywhere that's predominantly Muslim is not going to be friendly,
right?
But that's that part. They do ask about married people having affairs. That's kind of a fun one.
How does that play out?
And this one isn't. This is.
I hope they asked France that one.
Right. Actually, I'm not looking at the whole thing. They have produced some helpful infographics, so I'm just sort of going off of that right now. And this one basically says across all of the 25 countries, they've kind of averaged it all out. So in the world, most people think that married people having an affair is morally unacceptable. 77%, whereas 7% find it morally acceptable, and 13% find it not a moral issue.
Okay.
That's
right.
that's between you and your person, but it's not moral in some way.
Huh. Okay.
They also asked about things like using marijuana, where 52% still find it morally unacceptable.
Throughout the world.
Throughout the world.
Number? Wow. Okay.
Viewing pornography is apparently in the world more morally acceptable than using weed. Smoking weed, 52% unacceptable. Porn, 49% unacceptable. I think that's weird.
Huh. I mean, what's the margin of error?
Yeah, I don't know.
Huh. Interesting.
Getting a divorce is now largely morally acceptable. I think that's good.
And that doesn't have any. You're not seeing the country breakdown on that one.
No, it's just this is just across all the countries. But across all the countries, 81% think it's morally acceptable to get a divorce, with 12% that's saying it's unacceptable.
Really?
I think that's kind of cool. I'm glad. Contraceptives are now widely accepted. Only 8% of the world saying that it's morally unacceptable to use contraceptives.
Wow, the Catholics lost on that one.
100% Catholics lost. But none of these are the headline of the Pew survey.
Oh, okay. These have been fascinating. What's the headline?
The headline is, the question is, rate the morality and ethics of the people of your country.
Oh.
And that's a big one. That's a
fascinating question.
It is a fascinating question. The country that has the most confidence in the morality of their countrymen, our neighbor to the north, Canada.
Really? At what percent?
92% say 92% of Canadians think that their fellow Canadians are either very, very good morals or somewhat good morals.
As an outside observer, Canada, I'm going to disagree.
It's too cold not to be moral in Canada.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
Wow. They like themselves. Okay.
Yeah. They're followed by, and this is interesting, Indonesia and then India, who think of their own countrymen as moral, or as either very good or somewhat good morally.
To what percent?
92% Indonesia, 88% India.
Okay.
Sweden also thinks that they're good, 88%.
I can see that.
Aussies are confident in their countrymen at 85%.
I'm surprised. Having known some Australians, I'm surprised that number's not higher.
They largely are pretty moral. Do you want? I'm going to let you guess on a few of them.
Okay.
What about the UK?
The UK, I bet they're down. Well, okay. So give me sort of the low end. What country is what's the number for the worst?
There is one country.
Okay.
That is flipped. That 53% of their people think that the morals of their countrymen are bad.
Okay, so that's as bad as it gets.
That's the worst that it gets.
Is okay. So
is 47%
good.
Yeah.
And so UK is probably then in the 70s, like maybe 74, 75.
Interesting. It's 82 actually.
82. Okay.
82% good.
Okay.
So that's nice.
I think that's still good. Okay.
I agree. France isn't quite as happy. We're getting into some. Yeah. Do you want to guess?
Maybe I'll stick with my earlier number, 75%.
We've dove down.
Way down.
We're
60s.
down to 55%. France.
Oh, Because they know they're all having affairs. They know they're all up to no good, and they're they're fine with it. It's just how people are. Right?
Yeah.
Of course they're terrible. Of course they're terrible.
You know, he stole some paintings out of the Louvre. It's what people do.
He was drunk on wine.
But yes, the very, very bottom of the barrel, some of you may have guessed, is these United States of America, where the majority of people do not trust the morality of their countrymen.
I did not want it to be us, but I believe it.
Yeah.
Because everybody else in this country sucks.
We trust ourselves less than Turkey, less than Brazilians, less than Grecians. I don't know. Like we're all the way down at the bottom.
I mean, have you ever met a Republican, Dan?
And they're saying, have you ever met a Democrat?
I know.
So, 53% of Americans say their countrymen are either somewhat bad morally or very bad morally. So,
we
suck.
The thing is, this is like, how long has this been kind of a thing?
No, I think my parents, I think your parents' generation, it would have been a much higher. Go back to the 80s, go back to the Reagan era, and everybody was like, Americans are the best. Americans are amazing.
Yeah.
So.
And now we're just like,
how far we have fallen.
The other side sucks so bad. Well, you know what? At least 47% of us still think the other half is okay.
Or at least that we're largely morally acceptable.
Right.
All right. Well, friends, if you would like to chime in about the moral acceptability of your country people, you can, or about anything that we've talked about, you can write into us, podcast@thankgodimatheist.com.
Or call and leave us a voicemail message. We'd love to hear from you. The telephone number is 424-666-8442. Stick around. There's more show coming up.
Well, Frank, we had some folks write into us, so I'm going to read some of the missives we have received. This is from Rochelle in California, who said, "Hi, guys. I've been listening to the podcast for several years now. I found it when I left fundamental Christianity. At present, it is the only way I can consume news."
Oh,
that's terrifying.
Oh, we have to do a better job.
We have to do a much better. Please don't. Please. Anyway, I'll just move on.
Okay.
Rochelle says, "I need some of the levity and some of the shitting on the religious people. It's healing, really." So, okay.
Yeah, okay, good. All right.
You can have that.
Fine.
I wanted to comment on the section where you discussed different professions and how much they are trusted. Do you remember this? We talked about all the different professions and how clergy are no longer as trusted as perhaps once they were. But also nurses were doing very well. Mm-hmm. And Rochelle says, "I am a nurse, and as you mentioned, we are killing it. I work as a street nurse, running a mobile clinic in a van that brings healthcare to people experiencing homelessness." That's
it. That's great work. Okay.
Also sounds sketchy. "I'm in a van. Hey, you want some nursing? Come on over." She does say,
I'm sure it's proposed exactly like that.
Right. Ironically, it can take months or years to build trust with my patients, but that's another story. That makes sense.
Yeah.
"Hey, come over here. I'll give you a Band-Aid. You want one?" However, I'm also an atheist, and we are some of the least trusted people out there. I take a perverse amount of pleasure in revealing first what I do for a living, and then my lack of belief in God. Most people just kind of blink at me and then try to find a way to change the subject. I'd like to know the data on the Venn diagram intersection of trust in atheist nurses. Yeah, that's an interesting thing. I'm presuming that she's just saying in conversation with people. I'm guessing she's not telling her her patients as they come up.
Sure.
By the way, I'm an atheist. Get in here.
Right.
Let's give you that shot. But yeah,
I don't know if I want a shot from an atheist.
What's in it? Yeah, I think I thank you for your service, Michelle. That's actually a beautiful thing that you do, and I'm proud of you. And second, I don't know what that would look like, but I do love the idea of saying I do this noble thing that is associated with that, religious people will associate with godly service, and then I just do it because I'm a good person. How about that? I love that.
Yeah.
Alrighty. This is an anonymous one, but this one says, "Hey, Frank and Dan, defining spirituality we've talked about this many times, has been a recurring question on the podcast that has always puzzled me as well. I was recently diagnosed with MS, and I have been reflecting and reading some material from the National MS Society." Sorry about the MS. That sucks. Anyway, they had a section on spirituality, and I was worried it would be a promotion for religion. However, to my happy surprise, I think they handled it well. Respect for both those with and without religious beliefs. And then they put a quote here. This is from the National MS Society .org. It says, "Spirituality includes things that give you energy and a sense of meaning. These things may be practices, activities, or connections. For people living with multiple sclerosis, spirituality can support wellness and promote personal growth in the face of challenges. Religious beliefs may or may not be central to spirituality. For some, religion is the driving force behind their spirituality. For others, their connection to nature, to other people, to art, or to some other thing gives their lives particular meaning." Okay. I guess that's as close as we're going to get to a decent rundown on what
I like that.
What people could mean by that word.
Yeah. It's not bad.
So there you go.
That works. It's nice that it's so well acknowledged.
Yeah.
Right.
Totally.
I mean, if nothing else, anyone reading that can feel that it is talking to them.
That it applies to them? I don't know. Here's what I am like.
Dan doesn't feel like it.
The first thing that I imagine is some Christian person who's, one of those Starbucks didn't do the cups this year people, the war on Christmas people.
Sure.
Who reads that and is like, what? Spirituality that doesn't involve Jesus? That doesn't count. I hate this organization now.
It's where, it's the people who are triggered by inclusion.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to
people who are triggered by just the mere existence of other people who are different from them.
Some Jesus
those
freak
people
just got diagnosed with MS and is furious.
The people, you know what? These are part of the 53%.
There you go. You go.
People who they don't see they're not willing to look for the morality and the goodness in others, right? Anyway.
Yeah. All right. And finally, I'm going to close out. We don't. It may surprise people that we don't get a lot of hate mail. You would think that us, because we shit on Christianity, we shit on Islam, we shit on all of the religions.
Right.
You would think that we would get some. They largely leave us alone. We're not for them. That's not what we do.
By the time we actually say the podcast or the email address in the podcast,
they've stopped.
They're so bored by this point,
or they're furious, but they don't want to go all the way to the end. Anyway, someone made it to the end, and lest anyone think we only read the good ones. We kind of only read the good ones, but I mean, this is from someone calling themselves Squeezin' Juice. The subject line, I almost never read the subject line, but this one was, this is unhinged. I'll just warn everyone. Subject.
Great.
Mormo-Masonic Jews/Jew lovers. What's the deal with the homogenous post-theism ministry?
Okay.
And the body of the email reads, as follows. Why does every single person in the algorithm look like they came from the same Joseph pedo cult? I guess referring to Joseph Smith and Mormonism.
Why does everybody look like they're Mormons?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
All saying the exact same dumb shit. Look away. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Religion is mythology. We don't know anything more about it. Eventually, I'll find a podcast outside of your bearded circle jerk ministry that somehow slipped through the Jewish media filter.
I don't have a beard.
In point of fact, you are correct. You have a mustache.
I feel like this person actually did not watch or pay attention to who we are. Right? Because I do not. I used to. Now, I guess if you look at some of the older, there's plenty of pictures of me with a beard, but I don't currently have a beard. I take issue with this, Dan.
And then the final line of this email is, how long can you nasty fucks sit here gatekeeping your own pedophile cult? I literally have are we Mormons or are we not Mormons? I don't know what this person's view on us actually is. Yeah. We apparently have a pedophile cult that we're gatekeeping. We're not letting him in. Is that his complaint? that we have this pedophile cult and he's not invited? Is that what he's going for? I don't know. Okay, well there you go. A little bit of the old
shit. All right.
The unhinged mail.
Well, I am really glad that you read that. That was edifying.
Yeah, we're all better off for that having existed. Thank you for that. Do we have some folks to thank?
We do, Dan. We have 2 new patrons on Patreon. These are people who went to our website, thankgodimatheist.com/donate, and found the Patreon thing on the right-hand side.
Yeah.
The PayPal is obvious. Patreon you have to look for. Anyway, they found it, clicked on it, and signed up to be deacons in our special priesthood, Dan.
Ooh.
And so we have Tony to thank.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tony. And Joe. Thank you, Joe.
Excellent.
And as always, Dan, we have our top donor to thank, our Lord and Savior, Alexandra.
More show coming up. Well, Frank, we know that our country sucks now, and we're just indiscriminately bombing bad guys, people that Pete Hegseth thinks are bad guys for no good reason.
43% of us are great, Dan.
What's that?
43% are great. It's that other 53% that totally fucking 53. Sucks.
So, okay, yes, there was the United States of America attacked Iran, is continuing to attack Iran with their good buddy Bibi Netanyahu contributing. So peace in the Middle East is just a moment away as we look at what's happening out there. Buy your EVs now, because good luck because the oil prices are going to be having a lot of fun. There's no plan here. That's the main thing. The big headline is there is no plan. There is just, we want to, what good is it to be the Secretary of War if I'm not committing war? So,
well, they've already met their main objective, right? They took out, the Ayatollah Khomeini.
Yeah.
And that was the whole point, right? And now the rest of this is just for show.
It's for epic fury, Frank. They're showing epic fury.
It's for show.
Anyway,
that's disgusting.
The other thing about all of this is that we've got look, Donald Trump wouldn't know a Bible verse if you slapped him in the face with it.
Right.
But Pete Hegseth is a lunatic nut job.
Yeah.
And he believes in the rapture and believes that it's very clear he believes that he's making it happen. And he's not the only one. He hasn't said this out loud, but it seems very clear. But so many people online, sort of big time pastors are talking about how this is going to lead to the rapture. This is Gog and Magog there's all of this really stupid stuff, and they're gleeful.
Yeah.
Your story earlier about the guy being like, just shrugging off the murder of 100 little girls.
Yeah.
Because what they think is happening is the apocalypse, and they're stoked.
Yeah. Because they're on the winning side. They are all setting themselves up to get mega raptured.
Yeah.
Yep. And
it's just so gross. I mean, Pete Hegseth literally went to he gave a talk long before he was the Secretary of War. He went to somewhere in Israel and gave a talk. I'm trying to find the quote, where he basically talked about how he wanted this to happen, how he wanted the US and Israel to be blowing shit up, because it's biblical. And by the way, I happen to know a few Bible scholars now, and no Bible scholar in the world thinks that the rapture is even a thing in the Bible. It's wildly post-biblical. It's really new. It's from the 1800s that the concept of the rapture even was invented. And then B, there's this dispensationalism idea, and I don't want to get into all of that, but there's this idea that Iran and Israel are going to do this thing, and that's going to be the fulfillment of Ezekiel 38, and that's the war of Gog and Magog, and that's going to show the thing, and that's what, and that ushers in the the apocalypse. But guess what? Ezekiel 38 was definitely not about now. You know what I mean? You're not going to convince these people, because it does have some language about this sort of future tense language. And it's all weird and stuff. But yeah, I guess the idea here, the thought is just literally religion has poisoned the minds of so many people that we have a whole bunch of people rejoicing in this murder, this attack on a country that has done nothing to us. You know what I mean? And it's just so weird to see a bunch of people thrill, who by the way, these are the same people who during the campaign were like, I'm voting for Trump because he's going to keep world peace. He's going to be he's the guy of peace. And we shouldn't be the world's police officers. We shouldn't be meddling in the affairs of the world. Get us out of there. And why are we spending American dollars to be the police officer of the world?
Well, Pete Hegseth himself, the great grand champion of this whole thing, right? I saw a thing. I wish I had it pulled up, but while prepping for the show, I skimmed through an article that they had a video of him that I watched where he was talking about how, and this is just 2 days ago. This is well after this whole thing started in Iran, that he's gung ho for. And he's talking about how we're so great because we've pivoted back to the Monroe Doctrine.
Right.
And that we have this new thing, the Donroe doctrine.
Right.
And that Trump
you should
is so
explain
great.
the Monroe Doctrine.
Monroe Doctrine is the idea that America's sphere of influence is the Americas, right? And basically anything that happens in North or South America is our business, right? And we can kind of go around and throw our weight around throughout the Americas. And that's where and everywhere else is foreign lands that we shouldn't be involved in. Right. And that we'd be fools to get involved in. He was literally during post-bombing Iran talking about this and how amazing it is that this is our policy now, so forth and so on. And my jaw was on the floor.
Yeah.
I couldn't figure out how I would want to shoehorn that into the episode.
Yeah.
Until now, and I don't have I'm not fully prepped on it, but it was unbelievable.
I mean,
like, that's who we have. Like these people are, they'll say one thing 1 minute.
Yeah.
And something entirely different the next minute. That's completely contradictory to the thing they're talking about.
Right.
And
they're fine with both.
And it's fucking unbelievable. And it is terrifying because, I mean, you're talking about these people with these extreme religious views, and that this is what they've been wanting and this is what they're working toward. They are who, aside from Trump, who they are just manipulating at this point.
Yeah.
That's who's running the country.
Yep.
Right. And they get what they want because they whisper, oh, great dear leader into his ear all the time.
Right.
And the man is completely disconnected with reality at this point.
Oh yeah. He's never even been in the same room as reality.
Yeah. Well, whatever connection he had with reality, it is gone. It is done. There is no hope for Donald Trump to have a clear-eyed view that we would hope that a president of the United States would have.
Yeah.
Of the world, the country.
Yep.
Just reality, what it means to be alive, right? What it means, like, he's insisting, right, that prices on things that are going up are going down, right? Like, up is down, down is up, and we are all living in it. And so fuck that 53%. I'm so fucking tired of them.
I mean, let's be fair. Let's be reasonable, though. The people that believe this nonsense, this dispensationalist, rapture nonsense, it's way lower than 53%.
No, I know.
In this country, it's
just
pretty
they
low.
happen to have positioned themselves very well.
Yeah. And I, every time this comes up, every time we sort of encounter the rapture as being a thing that people are after, I'm out there. I need to start making bets. I need to start betting these people. I will give them great odds. You think the rapture's coming? Give me a time frame. Let's bet.
Yeah.
Give me a time. You know what I mean? Like, after that point, I get your house. If you're, whether you're here or not.
Bet on the rapture, because they can't make the rapture happen. They can make Armageddon happen.
Well, they can definitely make some horrible shit go down. Yeah, for sure.
Like there, I don't know. There was this Netflix series about the bomb. I don't know. Anyway,
yeah.
And the point that repeatedly, the nuclear bomb, right? The point that was repeatedly made is that the close calls that we've had. I don't say this to scare everybody, but I'm scared. The close calls that we've had with the bomb was literally it always came down to like one person who was like, this doesn't make sense. Right. I'm not going to turn this key until I have better information, because this doesn't make sense. Right. And there were multiple incidents in like the 60s and 70s when this documented incidents where this happened. Right. Yikes. Whether it was the Soviets or it was the Americans. And so one of the people talking toward the end of the series was just basically saying that if you have these bombs and it's only accidents have ever saved us, from complete destruction. It's only a matter of time before some fool launches some fucking nuclear weapons,
some nukes.
And it's like, and it's terrifying. And I don't say this to terrify people because I don't think that that's a great thing for shows to go around doing. But
it's too late.
It's too late. And these people are hellbent on something that's truly terrifying. And I don't like to think about it because it scares me.
Yep. Well, I take comfort in a few things. First of all, there are those people that won't turn the key when the time comes down.
I hope.
It's nice to know that they have saved us before, so they very likely can save us again.
Maybe.
And the other thing is that you and I, Frank, live in Salt Lake City, which is not a symbolic target of any kind and is hard to reach with missiles. So, sorry, everybody on the coasts. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Okay. No, we love you all. We're probably going to be okay.
We're going to get through it. The
Iranians are probably not going to be. It's going to be a while for Iranians. Say a prayer for them. Again, we're in this situation where we don't even have prayer to make us feel better. We don't even have Jesus to turn to and be like, will you please bless them? I know you won't, but it feels good when I ask you to.
No, I have disassociation to turn to. And I do.
Yeah. Well, enjoy that, everybody. Just go bowling and dissociate for a while. It'll be it's still not the worst time period in history, so we're doing okay.
Not yet. It's not the worst time. Not the worst one yet.
Oh my gosh. This has been a really dark episode of this show. If you're just tuning in for the first time, this is not normal. I just want to point that out to everybody. But if you'd like to write in and complain about it, you can do so. Podcast at thankgodimatheist.com is the way to do that.
Or call us and leave us a voicemail message. The telephone number is 424-666-8442.
To support the show, go to thankgodimatheist.com/donate.
This episode was edited by Roger Gowdy, and music was provided by the Red Rock Hot Club and Gordon Johnston.
Thanks so much for tuning in, folks. We sure do appreciate you.
Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
Thank God I'm Atheist is a production of TGIA Media, LLC, copyright 2026, all rights reserved.